If you figured it out all today, what would be the point of tomorrow? Enjoy the process of being a work in progress. Anonymous. Being a master communicator is a lifelong journey. Even I'm still working on it every single day, which is exactly why in this week's episode of MasterTalk, I'm going to be sharing 3 key tips so that you can walk away from this video having practical ideas on how to become a better communicator. Hi everyone, my name is Brandon Kumar Simon, the founder of MasterTalk, on your go-to channel to mastering your talk, and today we're covering strategies on how to become a great speaker. So let's get into it. Number 1, clarity helps you prioritize which skill you're excited to learn the most. Whenever we think about communication, there's different angles that we can jump into. Presentations is one of them, conversations, guesting on a podcast, hosting a podcast, and the list goes on. Of course, camera presentations. So our analysis begins with one question. How would the world change if you were an exceptional communicator? Or how would your life change if you were a better speaker? And for all of us, that answer is different. But I would encourage you to do right at the beginning of this video is pause it and just reflect on that question for yourself right now. Spend 5 minutes just saying, why is communication important to me? Because for some of us, it's about being a YouTuber, presenting better on camera. For others, it's having tough conversations with our family members that we're not ready to have yet. And for others, it's going to travel and talking to strangers at a park or in some random place around the world and building relationships. Figure out what your priority is and focus all of your energy on that priority. Because if you don't have clarity on why you want to be a great communicator, sure, you can do the right exercises. Sure, you can get up every morning and work on it, but eventually you'll give up because you haven't raised the necessity. And this is something from Brendon Bouchard, who's a high performance coach, is raising the necessity of why we want to master something. I'll give a personal example. The reason I got better at communication, even if I was lost most of my life on this skill, was because of case competitions. It was presentations that I used to do competitively in university that forced me to get really good at presentations if I wanted to get better at winning these competitions, and that's what led to my improvement in skill. So figure out, what do you desire the most? Is it the relationships? Is it the conversations? Is it the way that you present in a boardroom? And once you have that clarity, it'll be so much easier for you to prioritize your goals and practice your way to success. Number 2, practice your listening skills in an effective way. As you can tell, I'm probably not that great of a listener because I'm what we call an extrovert. I love talking, I love being on camera, I love being a YouTuber. So it's really hard for me to listen carefully to what other people are saying, especially in the early days of my communication journey. But the problem with just telling you to listen more effectively is that it's very vague. How do you practice this on a daily basis? So there's a few strategies that you can use to listen more attentively to the people around you. One of those examples is listening to conversations that you're not able to respond to. So an example that I do every morning, even to this day, is I invest the first hour or 2 of my morning listening to podcasts. What's great about listening to podcasts is you're forced to just listen because the conversation is already over. Whereas when you're having a conversation in real life, half of your brain is listening to what they're saying, and the other half is trying to figure out how to respond. But in this case, you can't respond because, well, the conversation happened years ago or months ago. So you're forced to listen. That helps a lot. Another trick I can give you on listening is the percentage of questions that you ask versus the statements that you give. Most of us in conversations generally give statement after statement after statement after statement. Yeah, how was your day? Oh, yeah, great. How about you? Good. What do you believe in? I believe in this. What about you? I believe in this. So when we do statements, like most of us do, and we give statements, we're not asking each other questions. We don't give ourselves space to listen to those conversations. So instead, what you want to do, I believe this. Why do you believe this? This is why I believe this. And why is that important to you? So notice that the difference between both of those scenarios is that scenario number 2 includes a lot more questions than statements. So just ask yourself, out of everything that comes out of my mouth, what percentage are statements and what percentage are questions? And if I was you, I would try my best to make that ratio as close as possible to 50-50. Number 3, create an accountability group to master and discuss your communication goals. Accountability is the cornerstone to growth. Whether you're learning how to cook or run a marathon, it's a lot easier to get up in the morning if someone's knocking on your door at 5 a.m. and saying, Brendan, time to go out for a run. Or else I'd probably stay in bed all day. But the key is accountability is what drives progress. So if you want to become a better speaker, you need to surround yourself with people who also have the same goal as you. Whether that's hiring a professional speech coach, or if you don't have the money for that, a Toastmasters club is also great because Toastmasters isn't that expensive. But the key is simple. Find people who are like-minded. I was lucky with this because in university when I did case competitions, which is kind of like professional sports but for nerds. I know, it's weird. The people around me also cared about the same thing. So we pushed each other to become better. And even to this day, I still have many of my old friends give me feedback on my YouTube channel, the way that I talk about ideas on camera, the way that I present myself in presentations, because they're always harsh with me. They're always trying to push me to the next level because they want to see me get better. And this is an important piece of communication too. And the last piece I'll end on is the reason why accountability is absolutely crucial to communication is because communication is vague. What does being a great communicator even mean? If me and you are running a marathon, it's really easy for us to measure the goal, finish the marathon. But in communication, someone actually needs to look at you and say, actually, Brendan, you're getting better at speaking. I think you should keep doing this. You need somebody else to say that for you. So really get that accountability that you need. If you figured it out all today, what would be the point of tomorrow? Even if we don't know who came up with this quote, this anonymous person is right because life is a journey of learning. We're always trying to get better. And communication is definitely not the exception to the rule. Keep working on how you communicate ideas, not just because of the presentation you have to give at work, not just because you want your wife or your husband to yell at you a little bit less, but because it leads to a fulfilling life. Communication is every interaction that you'll have with every human being for the rest of your life. So take it a little seriously, why don't you? As always, if you enjoyed this week's episode of MasterTalk, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well to see more videos like this. And if you know one person who's excited about working on their communication skills, be sure to send them this video so that they'll be one step closer to mastering their talk. See you next time, everyone. Take care.